Welcome to the Peachtree Podcast. Peachtree Learning Center is a nonprofit in Middle Tennessee dedicated to training and discipling students in all the fine arts to become excellent and skilled in order to spread the kingdom of God into the world of the arts. On this podcast, we will discuss topics designed to encourage, uplift, educate, and equip people to proclaim the kingdom more deeply in their own families and communities.
Hello, we're coming to you again for Peachtree Learning Center, talking about some exciting events coming up and exciting schedules. We're about ready for our spring show that's coming up soon here in Cookeville. We'll be putting on 2 performances this year for the first time of our spring show, with most of our performing arts classes starting with our kindergarten, elementary age music classes and coming all the way up through our high school choir and musical theater groups. It's always a really, really exciting time for us to put that show together. And it's always a thematic show. We work on a theme all year. Every year we have a theme. And this year's theme was rooted. We're going to be talking in our show about the 3 types of rootedness: being rooted in our community and the Upper Cumberland region and Appalachia. And then we've talked about being rooted in home and family. And we've shifted gears around this time of year. Most of our classes have shifted into speaking about being rooted in Christ and rooted and grounded in the love of Christ. And that's been a kind of a theme verse for us. So it's been a great year in that way. And our show is always a great thematic banner over the year. And it used to happen at the very end of the year. And when May got really, really crammed, we've backed it up. And this year it's happening at the end of March for us, which is a great time for the theater here locally to be able to accommodate us with 2 days in a row. So we're doing it in March. And then we have 6 more weeks of classes and lessons and exciting things. We're putting music out at a local food truck park on March the 23rd. And also again in May. We'll have 3 hours out there of music from faculty and students and a couple of musical artists that we know. And then coming up in April, we have 3 back-to-back weekends of drama shows. So our Drama 1 class is the youngest class that actually does a drama. And they've been working on acting. They've been working on some of their props and costumes. And they're putting on the show Jack and the Beanstalk. And our mural and set building class has been building sets for that show and working on some painting projects for that. And they'll put that on April the 12th at a local theater here near Tennessee Tech. And then the very next weekend, there's one showing of Alice in Wonderland, and that's our middle age group of drama kids. So that's more like 10 to 13-year-olds. And it's been super to watch them get cast and see them be excited about putting on their very own play. This is the first year that group has done their very own play. Last year, Drama 1 and 2 were together, and that group put on 1 play. But this year, we're doing 2 plays with those groups, and they're very excited about that. And then our oldest drama group is doing Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And we're super pumped about this show because it's just a favorite with so many people in our community and also just in our class. And a couple who haven't read it have gone and read the book, and our new fans, I think all of them have really loved that story. Most of them have loved it for a long time. And we're putting that play on with some beautiful costuming and great sets. We're actually doing 3 showings of that play. So we're doing 2 on April the 26th and April the 27th. We have a nighttime and a matinee show those days. And then we're coming around a week later on Monday, May 6th, and we're doing it in our Sparta South space. In our Peachtree South building, we'll be doing that play again. So our class is going on tour, and we're going to have a little mini tour for them to get to do the same show 3 times, which is really a treat if you've ever been in a drama and you've had to do it just once and then stop. It always feels a little bit like you got cut off in the middle because there's always things you'd like to try again and have another run at or be able to do again because you enjoyed them so much. So we're very excited to be able to offer that opportunity. After that, I wanted to talk a little bit about our fall schedule that's coming out. We should have it up tomorrow, in the next day or 2. So if you're listening to this podcast the week of the spring break, or the week of the 11th, that fall schedule will be up this week, and also our summer camp schedule. And summer camps for us are just great times to come together and enjoy learning and fun. They're small in size. We only have a couple that we let get to about 15 or 20 people at the top, and we'll have a couple of aides and a teacher in there with that group. But most of them are under 10 people, and they're small and intentional, but really fun in that way. And most of them are 3 hours. They're either in morning sessions or afternoon sessions. We only have 3 or 4 camps that'll run all day long, and that's our strings orchestra camp is all day for a week, and then our drama camps, they'll end up putting on a play on the Friday night of their camp week. So they'll have all day, every day to work on those. But the rest of ours are half-day camps, and they just offer really great summer fun with a small group And usually some learning is involved, and that's really great. But our fall schedule's coming out, and we have some special offerings, new things for us I wanted to point out. We have, we're shifting to world history this fall, and our theme this fall is going to be a medieval theme. So most everybody's going to be studying Middle Ages in some way or another. So art is going to focus on medieval art up to Renaissance times. Miss Lori is going to offer an art history class that focuses on the medieval art period. Our choir is going to look at Middle Ages music and work on some of those pieces. And all of our elementary classes will have some Middle Ages songs as well, and get familiar with those instruments and what kind of scales they used. And just everything was different in that time. So we'll be looking at Robin Hood, and we'll be looking at King Arthur and some really great heroes from that time frame, and bringing that all the way up into the Renaissance time period. So we're very excited about that theme. And that means that for fall, we have some special classes. So in Sparta, we're going to have some history classes focused on the Middle Ages. We're also going to have some creative writing classes that are new to us, and they'll be offered in both places, both Sparta and Cookeville. And then we have a class based on just G.A. Henty books from the Middle Ages. He was a prolific author of historical fiction, mostly for boys, although I know many girls that enjoyed those stories as well. And Josh has picked out some books that were from the Middle Ages specifically, and they're going to use those books to create just a history class based on historical fiction. Henty was a great researcher and a great historian, as well as a good writer, and they're going to have a lot of fun in that class studying stories and learning about the time period because of the stories. So that'll be a fun class. I wanted to point that out. And then we're adding, there'll be a few other new classes on Wednesday mornings for preschoolers and elementary age kids that'll be a lot of fun for you to see on the schedule. We've got a couple of new teachers joining us as well, and that's always a great, exciting thing to have happen. And then on Tuesdays, we think it's on Tuesdays, we're adding a beginning strings ensemble. So we've had a string orchestra that's met for several years, but it usually starts at about 12 years old and up, depending on experience. And so Miss Sarah's adding a beginning strings class, and it'll be to learn how to play in an ensemble, but they'll be doing it at a little bit less intense level, hoping to give a vehicle for some younger violin, viola, cello students to come together and play their instruments, but maybe in a less intense atmosphere, being able to do it more at their level and get them ready for a more broad orchestra experience when they get older. So there's some really fun, exciting new things coming to us this fall. We're also adding a screenwriting / theater writing class, like a script writing class. That'll be a lot of fun coming from Josh Rexford. He's done a ton of theater work and some film work, and he's very proficient in writing. And so I'm excited to see where his classes go and what all comes out of those as well. So he's offering a script writing class that'll be really a new offering for us, and we're expanding our music theory program and songwriting and composing. There's just some really great upper level creative classes coming. So I wanted to point some of those out and just invite you to go look at that website. If you haven't checked out the list yet, please do. Please look at the camp list and see if there's something fun you'd like to do in June or July with your kids. And we hope to see you in Peachtree soon.
Thank you so much for joining us today. To support this podcast, please go follow us on your podcast platform of choice. And if you're interested in knowing more about the work of Peachtree, please go visit our website at peachtreelearningcenter.com for more information.